All right, rule number 7, this is always carry identification with you when you're on your run or walk. Your shoe tags are a great way to do this. You know, write your name, number, any medicine allergies you have. We have these for a reason. And the reason this happened in year 7, we get a call, we've gotten called maybe 3 or 4 times about runners that have been found on the side of the road, either hit by a car or whatever, and they call Portland Fit because they don't know who these people are. And they're wondering if it could be a member of ours. And so in year 7, there was a lady, she was in a coma. Nobody knew who she was, and they were calling us to try and find out if any of us knew her. So it's important to have this information, just in case something does happen, that someone can contact your family, or for example, if you have allergies, you know, you're not administered drugs that could be harmful to you. Then year number 8, this was the year we learned that bikers are people too. And this was the year where we got a very nice, thoughtful letter from a biker who does regularly bike the waterfront, and was extremely frustrated with our group, once again, because we were taking up most of the waterfront. And more importantly, we were running and walking in their bike lanes, which, you know, I never thought about that. I thought, hey, you know, it's a safe place. It's marked to keep cars out of there. Problem is, bikers, if we're in their lane, they have to veer out into traffic. And I don't know if, I didn't really appreciate this until I started biking myself, but it's kind of scary going, you've got a group in front of you, you're trying to look back, you're trying to pull into traffic. It's just a very dangerous situation for the bikers. So if we can, please avoid staying out of the bike lanes. If you have to step into a bike lane, look, make sure there are no bikers coming, step into it if you're trying to get around something, and then step back onto the sidewalk. When you hear bikers, a lot of them have bells, horns, or they'll yell on your left, on your right. Move over, give them, you know, let them pass, because it is very frustrating when you've got people everywhere to try and navigate through the whole group. And I encourage you guys, if you do have a bike, try to bike the waterfront one day on a busy day. It's hard. And so it would really, you know, it would be a great favor we could do to the bikers to really pay attention to the 2 to 3 abreast and staying over so that they can get by. All right, year number 9, this was last year. With the popularity of the iPod, folks used to have Walkmans, but the iPod, wow, everybody's got them. A lot of folks have several of them. People wear them all the time. They seem like a great thing to have to motivate you when you're out running and walking. The problem is, in a situation like this, they're cutting off one of your major senses. So when you do, you can't hear people say on the left, on the right. You can't hear cars coming behind you. You can't hear just the little warning sounds that you don't even realize you're missing. And you also tend to zone out. You know, you're listening to the beat and you're not paying attention to what's going on. And this really impacted us last year because almost everybody has them. And we just noticed it was very hard for our assistant coaches to warn people when there were problems, or to tell them, you know, hey, turn left, turn right, you know, whatever. So we know we're not going to be able to tell you not to wear them because we know that people are going to. But we ask, at least when you're with the big group, wear just one so you can at least listen. You know, wear them out on your other runs and walks if you must. They're great for treadmill running and walking, but we really suggest not wearing them out here and not wearing them when you're running alone, because you can't hear, you know, warning signs or somebody's running up behind you. You can't respond. So they're really not a safe thing to have. And then the last safety tip I've got for this year, now with the birth of my son, I realized that nothing is more important than my and his safety. Okay, I now drive 5 miles under the speed limit. I'm one of those people. I grip the wheel, I'm looking both ways, but I've realized that if I get to my destination 5 minutes earlier, but I've risked my life or his life, it wasn't worth it. And we have, you know, you're out on your training run and, you know, a light changes and you're like, oh, I've got to stop, what a pain. And so a lot of people just go. Well, is it worth it? If you get hit by a car, you know, who cares? So what, you ran your 9-minute mile pace instead of your 30-minute mile pace. It doesn't matter. This is a training run. It's more important to be aware, to watch out for your own safety, to give cars the right of way. John had a story told to him last year. A lady was running with her friend, and he was running, and he just stepped out into the street to get around something real quick, and he was gone. A car came up behind, took him out. And it was because, you know, just not paying attention, didn't look behind before stepping out in the street. There are sometimes we do runs over the Selwood Bridge, St. John's Bridge. Same thing, we have people, I don't know if you guys have been on the Selwood Bridge. There is no, I mean, the cars are right there. And people will step off into the street and not even look. It's terrifying. And again, it's, you know, the stupidity of large groups. And I'm asking you to make sure that you're not one of those people. Again, we've had to ask people to leave the program who weren't paying attention because it's too scary. If something like that happened, it would just be the worst thing that could, you know, possibly happen. So please be aware, give cars the right of way. Your safety is more important than anything else that this program does. If you don't make it out alive, then it really wasn't worth it, right? All right, so that is my speech, 10 years of safety tips. Thanks so much for listening.